Hello, hello to all the parents of the next generation. It is Megan Barella here, your positive parenting and happy home guide. And today we're talking about disrespect in children, which we're really talking about cultivating positive respect in the next generation. So, a couple of things as we're settling in. If you're catching the replay, please do hashtag replay and say hello. Whether you're listening live or catching the replay, you're welcome to just kick back, whatever you're doing at home or at work, and listen in. If you want to get the most out of this experience, do use the comment section below as you're going along. Share your thoughts, share your family's reality, and I can provide some individualized support in the comments. And if you prefer, you're always welcome to message me your thoughts, your family's lived experiences and realities, and any questions or ways that I can support you and your family. If you enjoy this training, make sure you're signed up for the complimentary 5-day live masterclass experience, the Happy Home Week, beginning September 19th. And if you want to learn more about working with me and Happy Home coaching programs, you're always welcome to message me directly, or I'll share the link below in the comments when the training's done, and you can schedule a complimentary consultation. So today, we are going to support you in redefining and reclaiming respect for your family. We'll cover the top obstacles that I see in supporting parents around cultivating respectful behavior in our children. And then we'll wrap up with a few practical happy home tools to teach, model, and hold the boundary for mutual respect. It's important to honor that respect is individualized for each family and complex. Respect in children is also culturally specific. So if you align with conscious parenting and with the content that I'm sharing, and you want to connect with one of my fellow parenting educators or coaches who you can relate to, who share some of your family's lived experiences, I'll post a link to my referral list of other parenting educators and coaches. Lastly, as we get started, remember you are the expert on respect in your family. And I'm here to support you and following your intuition and family and cultural values. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm wondering, when I say the phrase respect in children, what words, images, or associations come to mind? So if I say respect in children, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Maybe you have a positive association like respect for elders or manners or being positive community members. But maybe when I say respect in children, you picture something like children obeying or being compliant. Maybe kids who don't talk back, and that you may see that as a positive or a negative. You may also think of kids not having a voice or children being seen and not heard. Maybe your idea of respect is rooted in something negative, like fear, control, manipulation. And maybe there's patterns around respect from your childhood that you don't want to repeat with your own kids. The reality is that the whole concept of respect is nuanced and it is complex. And respect in children can both be very positive and it can also be very negative. On my personal page, I did a post on the topic of disrespect in children. And thank you, so many of our community members here shared a lot of wisdom and insightful reflections and responses. So I encourage you to go look for that post if you'd like, and I'll share it in the comments below. So today, I want to support you in uniquely for you and your family, redefining, recreating, and reclaiming your positive definition of respect in children. The dictionary definition of respect is defined as high esteem and admiration for someone. Due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, and traditions of others. In Happy Home, we define respect as reverence, esteem, admiration for all people, parents and children. And I like to say that we're all connected by this golden thread of inherent and universal goodness that runs through all of us. So we are all worthy of respect, of reverence, of admiration, esteem, and love for simply being human, and also for our unique gifts. So from that place, respect is very unique to each family and culturally specific under this umbrella of respect, admiration, esteem, and love for one another. And secondly, your children listening, cooperating, and being respectful is an extension of your unique family value of this reverence, esteem, and admiration we have for human life. So to capture this definition in my Happy Home membership community, we talked about creating a wheel of respect that might look something like this, just a circle where you define and capture all the positive definitions and associations for respect in your family, respect as a family value, respectful children. What does that look like for you? How do you want to define that for your family? Because there's a few obstacles I've found to cultivating positive, healthy, and very much needed respectful boundaries and expectations and behavior. So I'd love to dive into that now. The first obstacle I found is that many parents carry negative experiences from our own childhood, where respect was rooted in control, was rooted in fear, children not having a voice, or maybe respect was something that was enforced when your parents were stressed out. So they were harsher or more cruel in upholding their standards of respect than they would have been normally if their stress levels weren't so high. So what happens is when we carry these negative associations of respect in children with us, it causes a push-pull dynamic within parents where we're not sure about how we feel about respect in children. We're not sure of what our core positive values are. And one way to really transform that, to reclaim your positive definition of respect in children, is to do something like this wheel of choice, where you're capturing everything, all the positive definitions and associations you have around respect. Okay, so the second obstacle that I see in cultivating respectful behavior in our children, particularly many of you are sharing with me that your kids are talking back, or your kids are being openly defiant, or even kids are calling their parents names, okay? So when that is happening and your children are crossing those clear lines into disrespect, usually what I find at the root of that is that when you were a child, your boundaries were crossed, that you were the recipient of disrespectful behavior from your parents, caregivers, or siblings. And providing that compassionate closure to those old wounds So you can reclaim your self-respect and then teach, model, and expect respect from your children. It's something that I help parents with, and it's also something that you might be able to work with a therapist or a other practitioner with. Okay, so those are the two obstacles. The main obstacles I see in parents is that you have this push-pull dynamic. You're not sure how you feel about this idea of respect in children. You haven't defined it for your family. And this is your invitation to start doing that. And then also that there may be some support where you can reclaim your standards of how people are treating you. Okay, some of the 3 tools. Now we're going to dive into the happy home tools to cultivate respect. 1, create that wheel of respect. Because that's going to help you get clear. It's going to help you stand in your core values for your family around respect. And you're going to be able to do that reclaiming of respect as a positive. Secondly, a great perspective switch is to understand the difference between when your kids are being openly defiant, they are consciously by choice not listening to you, and when they're just in their kid world and they actually don't hear what you're saying. I find a lot of parents read, my child's being defiant. They're being disrespectful. They're not listening, right? We read it that way. And then we may be reactive and actually disrespectful to our children. And then our kids are going to mirror that disrespect back. So we use tools in my Happy Home coaching program so you can ensure that you're connected with your children, you have their focus, and they are hearing you. That's going to transform a lot of what you might be reading as disrespect. Now, the third tool to cultivate respect in your family is to understand timing, particularly if you have a tween or a teen. Understand when it's time to have conversations about respect and when it's not time, when there's another tool that's more appropriate. A lot of us get so activated by our children's disrespect that we may go off on a lecture. We may get reactive. We may get threatening or nagging by what we're reading as our children's disrespect. And then what happens is, due to the mirror neurons in the brain, we read our kids are being disrespectful. We're reflecting that back to them. And it's like, we're in this disrespect cycle. Now, by understanding timing, by taking note of what's going on in your family that is disrespectful. What are your kids doing? And then finding a calm and connected moment to talk about it, to understand what's going on for your kids, and to reinforce what the clear expectations and boundaries are around your family values of respect and what that's going to look like and what you expect of your kids. And again, I really encourage all of you to do this wheel of choice. This is mine. It looks a little, it doesn't have to look beautiful, right? But it was so helpful for me to clarify now that, my son is 13 and this is something we work with ongoing. So I'd love to hear, what is your main takeaway? And I'll go back and get any comments below. What is your main focus area? What's your main takeaway? Or what insight and wisdoms would you like to share with our community about respect? If you enjoyed this training, I encourage all of you to register for the upcoming Happy Home Week, our complimentary 5-day live masterclass training that'll be kicking off September 19th. And also, if you're in cycles of disrespect in your family, if you're transforming intergenerational cycles around negative interpretations of respect, of fear-based respect, I encourage you to reach out. If you connect with what I shared today in the Happy Home program, message me directly. I'll share the link in the comments below. Schedule your complimentary consultation. Let's start supporting for you. I will help you bring alive your family values around respect and maybe help you, get clear on what they are. I'm going to follow your lead in doing that, and then helping to share those values with your children. Know that I'm sending lots of love and support to you and your family, and all the parenting wisdom in the world is already within you. And let's help you unlock that. Be good to yourselves, and I'll see you all again soon.